Wow, President Biden just said something we need to pay attention to. And another shocking report on low income. All of that plus a whole lot more in this video, so let's get into this right away. But if you haven't done so yet, or if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as information is changing very rapidly right now, but I'm watching all of it for you each and every day, and I'm bringing back all of these updates for you in these short condensed videos so that you can stay tuned with everything going on. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button right down below the video, and let's get into this right away. All right, so one quick side note. For any of you who joined me on the live stream just a few hours ago, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That was so much fun connecting with everybody. I always love those live streams, doing everything we can to answer all of the questions in the chat. Of course, unfortunately, I can't get to all of them, but the live streams are so much fun, and as always, I'm really hoping that I can continue to do that on a much more regular basis, as we just love those and it's so much fun to connect with everybody. So again, if you were there, thank you so much for joining me. It was awesome to have you. All right, so let's get into this and talk about this shocking report on low income, and then we can get into some other important information that was just released a short time ago and what the president said. So let's quickly talk about this report. So this report came out and said that the average household will need to spend an additional $3,500 this year alone just to maintain the same standard of living that that person or that household was experiencing in 2019 or 2020. So that is a massive amount of money more, $3,500 more, just to maintain the same standard of living that was achieved in 2019 and in 2020. Now, let me put that into perspective. Remember, the three stimulus checks that we received in early 2020, late 2020, and early 2021 was $3,200 in total. So basically take all of the stimulus checks, throw another $300 on top of it, and that's how much more everybody would need to spend right now just to live the same standard of living that we did just a couple years ago. Wow. So in other words, inflation is like eating prices alive right now. So wow, unbelievable, right? No wonder why so many people are struggling right now. If we have to pay that much more just to live the same way that we always were, that's going to make it tough for a lot of people, especially when incomes are not rising for the vast majority of people. Prices are getting away. So what do we need to do? We need to lower our standard of living in order just to continue to make ends meet every single month, right? Wow. Anyway, so that's just another report that I came out. In fact, as I said in the live stream, I come across reports every single day showing how this inflation is just crushing people right now. So literally every day I see reports on this stuff. So anyway, that's just the latest one that I found for you now. And of course, I'm sure tomorrow I'll see 5 more because they keep coming out. All right, so let's quickly talk about one more update on the stimulus package. The Senate parliamentarian was out today, once again turning down Democrats and their efforts to include immigration into the stimulus package. Now, the Senate parliamentarian has denied 3 times now. This is the 3rd time that she has come out and said, sorry, immigration is not going to count and it is not going to work in the reconciliation bill. So, yeah, Democrats, you can probably tell, are probably not too happy with this. But again, the Senate parliamentarian is the person who is like the referee behind the reconciliation bills. She's the person who is the rule, not necessarily the rule maker, but she's the rule follower, right? So she goes by and she looks through the entire package and says, well, this falls into the rules, this doesn't. This has to go. This falls in, and this has to go, right? So immigration is just another one of those things. Now, here's what's interesting. We also saw the same thing with the minimum wage increase back in earlier this year, right? So in March of this year, with the other stimulus package, they tried to add the $15 per hour minimum wage into the package as well, and the Senate parliamentarian threw that out as well because it didn't fit for the rules of the reconciliation bill. So just a quick example of what they were saying there. All right, so let's get into it and talk about what President Biden said a short time ago and what he is now acknowledging. All right, so again, we have to continue watching everything because here's the thing. There's so many statements that come out every day. It's like, they say this and then they flop to the next side of the spectrum the next day. So here's what we've got. The president has come out and he has acknowledged that the likelihood of his Build Back Better agenda, otherwise known as the stimulus package, the likelihood of that passing before the Christmas deadline is pretty slim. So the president has now recognized that that is probably going to be pretty slim, considering they've wasted away all of these weeks here in December, and we are coming up on that deadline here in a matter of a week. And he's pretty much saying, yeah, it's okay, fine, I get it. We're probably not going to get it passed by the deadline of December 25th. Therefore, we will continue working on this. So here's what has happened. The president has met with or talked to Chuck Schumer, who is the leader of the Senate on the Democratic side, and he has also talked to Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, again, Democratic side. So the leaders of the chambers on the Democratic side. He's spoken to them, and they've all kind of agreed that, okay, we're not going to reach our deadline, so let's just continue to negotiate this thing, and we will continue working on this over the coming days and weeks. So Chuck Schumer, the president, everybody here is going to continue working with Joe Manchin and trying to persuade him into voting for the stimulus package and showing his support for what the president has going on with this agenda. So they will continue working on Joe Manchin. Their plan is sometime be after Christmas, whenever that is, whether it's the next day, or the week after, or a month later. They really did not give any indication. They basically just said at some point after Christmas, the plan is to get this bill done as quickly as possible. So here's the thing. They always like to put these deadlines out into the air, right? They're just ambiguous deadlines for no apparent reason. They just give a deadline and say, okay, this is when we want to get it done by. And a lot of times they don't get it done by the deadline that they self-impose. So this time it doesn't look like they're actually instituting a deadline, but rather they're just basically saying, we're going to get it done as soon as we possibly can. So that's still the plan. So again, it could come in a week, it could come in 3 weeks, it could come in 3 months. Again, we don't know that. But the president has come out recently and just a short time ago actually, and acknowledged it's probably not going to be by the deadline. Now, another thing too, I want to talk about the initial jobless claims that came out earlier this morning, as this comes out every Thursday morning. I like to keep you posted on this because we've got to watch this very, very closely. So this came in at 206,000 new people applying for unemployment benefits last week alone. So these are new applications for unemployment benefits. Now, what's interesting is we've got this new Omicron variant of COVID surging through, well, European countries and already in a few states. I just saw a report that said it is already in 36 states. 36? Really? I'm pretty sure I saw a report just like a few days ago that it was only in 4 states. And that was not that long ago, maybe a week ago. So we've gone from 4 in about a week later to, 36 now? Plus? So, wow. And it looks like New York is really kind of really spreading fast here. And it looked like, according to what I was just reading, it looks like in New York alone, they're going to be sending home at-home test kits. So, really? This is weird stuff. Seriously. I thought we were behind all of this, right? So a year ago, it seemed like we were kind of on the other side of it. But no, we're kind of getting right into the depths of this whole thing once again. So, wow, another very interesting winter upon us. Well, it's not even technically winter yet. Not yet. A couple more days here. I'm thinking, what's the date today? Yeah. No, it's not quite there yet. A couple more days and it should be winter. Well, at least in my world it will be, and in your world it will be too, because it will be for everybody. Well, in the northern hemisphere, I should say. Anyway, so, we'll need to watch this whole COVID thing very closely, because at any given point, this thing could cause havoc, right? We don't really know a whole lot about it yet because they just discovered it not even a month ago yet. It's still brand new. So they do know that it's highly transmissible, but it looks like the symptoms are probably a little bit less severe than what they are with other variants. And now again, full disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. So if I look like a doctor and like I'm an expert, I'm not an expert on this. I simply do a lot of reading on it, and I'm certainly not giving medical advice in any way, shape, or form, because that would not be a good idea for you to take any advice from me on pretty much medical anything, right? Not a good thing. So I'm just saying I'm not that guy. But anyway, one other thing we need to look at as well, because this is another indicator of kind of the fear out in the marketplace and kind of what's going on, the uncertainty. The stock market. The stock market's been getting slapped around a little bit lately. So, kind of interesting because yesterday the Federal Reserve was out indicating that they're going to be raising rates at least 3 times in 2022. Well, as a result of that, the market ripped higher and closed a lot higher, like percent and a half higher across some of the indices, even 2%. So, it was looking pretty good. And now today it opened up and it went up even higher. And then all of a sudden it did a U-turn and just collapsed. Like the rug was pulled out from under it. So some of the stocks in the NASDAQ were down like 2, 3, 4, 5% with Tesla. So yeah, we have to watch this very closely. Now I know a lot of you here in the community don't watch the financial markets all that closely. And that's okay. Don't worry. I love watching the markets. I do every day. I check in on it a few times every single day just because I want to keep a pulse on what's going on with the market. But I watch it very closely because a lot of times the market is a leading indicator to give us an idea of where people stand. Where is the psychology of Americans? Where are people feeling a little bit nervous? What is the like the fear level in the across investors, things like this. So it gives us a better glimpse of what's going on. And as I've mentioned before, anytime the market kind of goes down a lot, like not 10%, not 20%, but I mean, we see like a substantial move lower in the market, which typically happens very, very fast. As the old saying goes, the market takes the stairs up and the elevator down, you know, up and then straight down. That's typically what happens. So, but anyway, we watch the market very closely because anytime the market has a substantial drop, a lot of times, almost every time, they step in and start pumping money everywhere to get the thing back up. Because it's very important that the market is going up because a lot of people have retirement accounts and all kinds of investments and they can't allow that to happen, right? I mean, they can, but they've also got a lot of money at this too. So the first thing they want to do is pump it back up. So you got to watch the market very closely as well. Now, again, you don't need to watch it. I can watch it for you. That's why I'm here. And I don't always talk about the market. In fact, I only do maybe like once or twice a month at the absolute most. But I do like to keep an eye on it. And today, once again, kind of went down quite a bit. So kind of interesting. I have a suspicious eye on this market right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a big ol' rug pulling here soon and see the bottom fall out of this thing and see it hit, you know, big move lower. So again, we'll see what happens. With just like with everything, the president's comments, the stimulus package, the other stimulus packages, everything going on right now, it's all we'll see, because that's really all we can do. We can't sit here and speculate. We have to sit here and watch it in real time and see what actually happens. But anyway, these are the votes that are, not the votes, sorry, these are the updates that I have for you as of right now. As I do get more information, of course, I'll come back and I'll keep you posted. So make sure to subscribe right down below the video, as I'm here for you every single day with all of these updates as they're being released. And I'm here in these condensed videos, laying it all out for you so you can get all those updates. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Subscribe down below. It's totally free to do so. And share this video or go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,000 videos right here on the channel. And of course, share those as well. If you haven't seen it yet, go back and check out the video from earlier today, the very first video titled, Just Announced New Stimulus Package. Watch that video. There's some good information in there about a new stimulus package. All right, enjoy your day. I'll catch you later.